Not every episode can be a masterpiece. Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Doctor Who moments even Whovians hate. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at the bits from Doctor Who even the fans would rather forget. Number 10, Romana's Regeneration. Happening many times throughout the series, the Doctor regenerating is one of, if not the most important moment for each iteration, and is certainly not to be taken lightly.
What are you doing here?
Regenerating. Do you like it?
This is why when Romana regenerated during her travels with the Fourth Doctor, it was quick to be called out.
I quite like this one, but it's a bit short.
Well, lengthen it then, go on.
Romana, who hasn't even suffered a fatal injury, goes through numerous different forms and species before insisting on duplicating a princess they met in the previous story.
There, what do you think?
Oh, that's fine. Here, take a couple of those, will you?
The Doctor's reactions are a little weird too, to say the least.
No, thank you. Not today.
Number 9, Half Human. Paul McGann isn't a half-bad Doctor, and while 8 is often left out of conversations, he's gone on to star in plenty of audio adventures to increase this regeneration's repertoire. Unfortunately, his debut in the 1996 TV movie left much to be desired. The victim of a messy, cross-Atlantic production and some pretty bad writing. One of the most memorable things he does, apart from the weird romantic subplot with Grace, is declare that he is half human on his mother's side.
I'm half human on my mother's side.
This throwaway line is a big middle finger to the preceding 30 years of Who lore, but thankfully has never been brought up again.
Just stay away from me!
Oh, come on, Grace, please, just let me in.
No!
Number 8, Sonic Sunglasses. Why anybody thought this was a good idea is beyond us, but they came back throughout series 9 and 10 as the 12th Doctor's new favourite gadget to replace the screwdriver, after he got tired of it for some reason.
Doctor, you don't have your screwdriver.
Oh yeah, I'm over screwdrivers. They spoil the line of your jacket. These days I'm all about wearable technology.
No.
Despite nobody ever really liking them and the fact they're nowhere near as fun for cosplayers, they just kept coming back.
Well, it might help if you could see properly.
They even popped up in Twice Upon a Time, where the first Doctor wore them for a spell. While 13 may use his sonic screwdriver a fair bit, at least it's a screwdriver again, and not wearable technology.
Why am I wearing these?
Because I love it. Never take those off.
Number 7, Blowjob Joke. One of the most hated episodes of all time is Love and Monsters in Series 2. People might hate it for being a Doctor Light episode, so our main characters were rarely seen. They might hate it for the ridiculousness of the villain, or they might hate it for this one comment made close to the end.
Bye-bye, Elton.
After Elton's love interest, Ursula, is absorbed by the Absorbaloff, the foe himself is disintegrated by the Doctor, who manages to partially resurrect Ursula from his remains.
Elton! Fetch a spade!
Ursula winds up as a face stuck inside a concrete slab, and it's Elton's very blue remark that they've even got a bit of a love life that sent fans reeling.
It's a relationship of sorts. We manage. We've even got a bit of a love life.
Oh, let's not go into that.
Number 6, The Giant Rat. This serial featured marauding mutant rats as the lackeys of the main villain, living deep within the London sewer system and protecting the laboratory of their creator, the deranged scientist Magnus Greel. But the stupidity of the rats wasn't the only offender in this story. It was so controversial that numerous networks in North America have refused to ever broadcast it, because of its villain being portrayed in yellowface.
You remember the cab driver, Buller, who came to see me tonight? Cab driver, yes?
While it did air in the UK, it was widely condemned not only for this, but also for using offensive Chinese stereotypes, by having everybody be either a labourer or a gang member.
Leave! I told you to take it out to the carriage!
Number 5, farting Slitheen. If you're over the age of 13, a fart joke every once in a while can still be a little funny. But the sheer volume of fart jokes crammed into this two-parter was enough to even stop kids from finding it amusing.
With the city gridlocked and the cabinet stranded outside London, that makes you acting Prime Minister. With immediate effect.
Oh, Lord. Oh, hold on.
The Slitheen wear ill-fitting disguises made of human skin in order to blend in. But one grim side effect is them having a case of very bad wind.
Oh, excuse me. What's going on here?
They fart constantly and always seem to find it hilarious themselves, though the Doctor's patience wears just as thin as the audience's. It's even worse when they reveal they were gigantic green monsters who explode when they come into contact with vinegar, of all things. Number 4, Don't Cremate Me. Doctor Who has its fair share of dark moments, but none quite as horrific as the conclusion to Series 8's main arc.
This will be disturbing.
She'll be fine.
The 12th Doctor and Clara discover that humans apparently remain conscious when they die, leading to them hearing voices begging not to be cremated.
Don't cremate me. Don't cremate me.
There is one
Don't cremate
simple,
me.
horrible possibility that has never occurred to anyone throughout human history.
Worse, the dead are being turned into Cybermen to build an army for the Master in her triumphant return. This was all deemed much too bleak for a family show, one which children could be emotionally scarred and may believe that the dead still feel pain. Even adults were made uncomfortable by the whole idea.
What the hell is that? Sounds like somebody left their body to science.
Number 3, Amy and Rory's deaths. Just like every Doctor, every companion will eventually leave the TARDIS behind sooner or later, and sometimes it's good to mix things up a bit and have them actually die.
The gravestone here for someone with the same name as me.
What?
So the very fact that the Ponds died isn't really the issue. It's the way they died, by being sent back in time by weeping angels and forced to live out their lives in 1930s New York until eventually succumbing to old age.
Goodbye.
No!
The show tries to explain that there's some paradoxical reason the Doctor can't just take the TARDIS back in time to go and get them, but it's still full of holes despite attempts at explanation.
By the time you read these words, Rory and I will be long gone. So know that we lived well and were very happy. And above all else, know that we will love you always.
Number 2, The Candyman. This classic episode set during the 7th Doctor's era hosted this bizarre story about a dystopian colony in the future operated by the sinister Happiness Patrol, who make sadness illegal and uphold this law rigorously. Their torturer-in-chief was the Candyman, a giant robotic version of Bertie Bassett, the licorice mascot, with a sadistic temperament.
I said, where are my specimens? It's time for an experiment.
Infamous for both his annoying voice and his habit of drowning people alive in boiling hot liquid candy, his fondant surprise, it's easy to understand why the classic run eventually found itself canned.
No need to worry, gentlemen. Tonight you see before you the artistic, sensitive side of me.
Luckily, he's easily defeated by the Doctor, spilling lemonade on his giant, boiled, sweet feet.
Oh well, here we go again.
No! Gilbert! Gilbert!
Number 1, the 5th Doctor's Regeneration. As we all know, Doctor isn't very good at regenerating, and this is made most clear when we said goodbye to Peter Davison and hello to Colin Baker, another Doctor who suffered because of shoddy writing.
And you're sweet!
Sweet? Effete? Sweet? Sweet?
The 5th Doctor's tragic regeneration is followed by the 6th Doctor waking up and immediately strangling companion Perry. It's unpleasant to watch him be so cruel to one of his friends, and unfortunately only set a bad precedent for the rest of 6's run. Perry was eventually forced to leave him because they just didn't get on, and no wonder considering he was arguably the most coldest iteration of the Doctor.
Well, this was worse. Longer. It was horrible.
Don't exaggerate.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo UK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.